May informed me explained all of our Segrest family issues because of the shame that she and my father carried as children of a family member declared crazy and committed to a loony bin. She speculated that her grandfather's hallucinations were caused by PTSD resulting from his experience as a foot soldier in General Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia during the Civil War, where the rivers ran red with soldiers' blood, and then from his long walk back home to Macon County and Alabama's Big Hungry, what my Aunt May called the period of starvation after the Civil War ended. Or, perhaps, she speculated, Charles Segrest's actions in response to actors unseen by his family were caused by pellagra, a new scourge sweeping the South in the early 20th century. In other words, Aunt May understood that our most intimate family legacies were shaped by Alabama's State Mental Hospital. So, Aunt May Segrest and Confederate veteran Charles Segrest walk these pages. As an ardent lover of modern Southern literature, I soon found the asylum popping up across a range of literary landscapes where it had been hiding in plain sight. For example, it was all over Tennessee Williams. I have always depended on the kindness of psychiatric strangers, is Blanche Dubois' elegiac last sentence in Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire, published in 1947. She speaks the line to the doctor in the white coat who comes to take her to the state asylum, to which her sister Stella and her brother-in-law Stanley commit her after Stanley rapes her. Or, "Cut that story out of her brain," Violet Venable exclaims in Suddenly Last Summer about how a lobotomy might keep her niece from spilling family secrets. The play opened on Broadway in 1958. 6 years before Michel Foucault's Madness and Civilization. Ken Kesey's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was published as a book, later made into a film in the early 1960s as well. The creative chorus to the discredited asylum was by then full-throated. But the anti-asylum critique had not started with Kesey or Foucault. It was there in Southerners' writings, like seismographs from the region's tectonic shifts. Consider other examples. William Faulkner's adolescent character Vardaman Bundren. He muses at the end of I Lay Dying. Jackson is further than crazy. His father had committed his brother Darl to Jackson, the location of Mississippi State Hospital. Darl had burned down a farmer's barn to cremate his mother, whose ripening corpse to Darl had become a desecration. Also, Faulkner's Sound and the Fury is haunted by the specter of the idiot brother Benji Compson, who was sent to Jackson in spite of the care labor of both the African Americans living on Compson land and Benji's siblings Caddy and Quentin Compson. The novel's opening monologue from Benji's consciousness begins the modern American novel. For Harper Lee in Alabama, Boo Radley's ghost-like presence in To Kill a Mockingbird also haunts the siblings Scout and Jim. Boo's father had kept him locked at home so as not to suffer the stigma, as the Segrest family did, of having a family member marked by institutionalization or the family degeneracy it implied, until Boo emerges from his haunted house to rescue the two siblings from the clutches of a white rapist. Because of Atticus Finch, Mockingbird became America's favorite book, but for me, Boo Radley was always the real hero. In the works of my favorite Georgia writers, Lillian Smith, Carson McCullers, Alice Walker, Flannery O'Connor, the possibility and consequences of being dragged off to Milledgeville were written very large. McCullers' threat, put into the mouths of Bernice Sadie Brown to her young white charge Frankie Adams, resonated throughout my childhood. Those blue police might come round here, tie you up, and drag you off to Milledgeville, or Bryce's, or Jackson, or fill in your state's asylum town. Flannery O'Connor found herself in Milledgeville in the 1950s. By then, she was an invalid with lupus, stuck with her mother, Regina. She was writing at ground zero of Southern psychiatry as she helped shape the sensibility of the Southern grotesque. All of these books are also steeped in what Lillian Smith called the dream and the killers of the dream, the legacies of slavery and racism in the United States that